Hey guys, can you hear me? Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I have no idea what was going on. Llevo entonces rato hablando sin el micrófono. ¿Qué onda, Rolen? ¿Cómo estás? Voy un poquito otra vez con el chat. Sorry about that. Yeah, I have no idea. Pienso hacer un daruma hoy. Es am, el objetivo de hoy hacer un daruma un poco creepy. Ah, no puedo creer que durara tanto tiempo con el micrófono apagado. Y según yo había revisado que todo estuviera listo. So, ¿qué onda, Rolen? Hey, Hannah, how are you doing? Usually my streaming sits both in English and Spanish, so feel free to stay. Um, hey, Sina, I'm doing great. How about you? Abraham, ¿qué onda? ¿Cómo estás? Y Di Stefano, ¿qué onda? ¿Cómo estás? Gracias por avisarme del micrófono, Di Stefano. Hey, Black Flame, how are you doing? So, for tonight's streaming, I'm actually gonna be doing a Daruma, but it's gonna be like a creepy looking Daruma. Earlier, I was looking for a reference just to add here on the OBS in case you're not familiar with a Daruma. And yeah, right now I'm just using like a couple of spheres just to create like the base mesh. Not entirely sure where I'm going with the design. I'm just sure that I want something creepy as usual. But other than that, um, I'm open to suggestions about this Daruma. ¿Qué onda, Felipe? ¿Cómo estás? Hey, Carlos Santos. Saludos a Brasil. Mi portugués es pésimo. So, um, como el de la movie. No sabía que había una película de un Daruma. La que, como una película creepy de Darumas. Um, ¿Dónde estudié? Aprendí por mi cuenta. Aprendí principalmente en la página de ZBrush. Hay una parte que se llama C Classroom. Y ahí tiene como muchísimos tutoriales de ZBrush. De hecho, pues encuentras todas las funciones, todas las herramientas desglosadas. Obviamente es un buen de contenido, pero lo padre es que está todo desglosado en videos como de 3 minutos, 4 minutos. Tiene años que no entro ahí, pero es como muy buena opción para ir iniciando en ZBrush al menos. ¿Qué onda, Black Flame? ¿Cómo andas? Saludos hasta allá, a Chile. Mm. ¿Qué onda, Alex? ¿Cómo andas? Ah, Mata estudiantes con la mirada en Japón. Ok, sí, suena creepy eso. Luego hay como películas como super indies que no llegan acá, como películas asiáticas que son como super creepy. Me gustan un buen este tipo de películas. Sphere surface link feature removed from new ZBrush. Not entirely sure, Sina. You mean the C-sphere? I mean, I know the C-spheres are still in here, but yep. The surface click featured. I'm not entirely sure which featured is that. I mean, I don't use that often C-spheres, although I use them, but not that as often as Dynamesh or Sculptris. But I'm not really familiar with that feature. ¿Qué onda, Alejandro? ¿Cómo estás? Yo, compiling shaders. Are you compiling shaders right now? So let's find some shapes. I was earlier when I had my microphone off. muted. Was wondering if I should do the daruma with the mouth closed or open. I still haven't decided yet, but let's split this. And make the body kinda red. Oops, never mind, this one. Sí, la verdad es que tiene muy buenos tutoriales ahí. O sea, el único detalle es que están todos en inglés, pero es una muy buena forma de estar aprendiendo ZBrush. Si manejas el inglés, la verdad es que los tutoriales que tienen ahí son súper completos y gratis, que es lo mejor de todo. Muchas gracias, Black Flame, Alex. Se llama As the Gods Will. Mira, no la conocía, de hecho, igual esta me funciona de referencia, déjalo busco. Y hay dos películas, 1 y 2. Oh, wow, yep. I mean, it looks kind of funny, the Daruma, but at the same time it looks creepy, which is interesting. El Daruma de As the Gods Will se ve creepy, pero... mira, tiene como... Esa idea me gusta. Está viendo que tiene como costuras, que fuera como que tenga la piel pegada a esta esfera. Entonces le voy a dejar la boca abierta. Now that's super creepy. Music. Igual un abrazo, bro. Sister Rig. Oh, to be honest, I haven't done any rig with sea spheres. I mean, I know it exists. I um I'm not a big fan of doing riggings with spheres. I don't know, not something I really was into it, but I'm sure that the feature is still inside ZBrush. I mean, as far as I know, they never remove features. They just add new features, but they never remove anything. So the features should be still here in ZBrush. This is just an idea, but there is a Daruma that with the mouth opened, with teeth, like they're angry. Oh, thank you, Hannah. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing that for sure. Daruma with the mouth open, because the idea of having teeth or something weird in the mouth, it's way creepier than just a closed mouth. So I just did a little bit of decimation. Decimation. Dynamesh, just to add a little bit more resolution. I mean, it needs some eyes, because that's pretty much the point of the Daruma. So let's add a couple of eyes, of eyeballs. Split hidden. Let me save this before I go on. Y la idea es que igual y tenga como la piel, como si le hubieran recortado la cara como, creo que es el Joker de New 52, que tiene como la cara recortada y se la pone encima de los músculos. Igual y algo así podría ser con esta Daruma. Estoy viendo dónde guardar. Creo que no le hice un folder a este. Ahí está. Hey, Comic Legends. How are you doing? No, I haven't done any 3D printing. I had a lot of work that weekend and I wasn't able to print it. But in the meantime, what I was able to do is add a little bit more detail because I love adding detail. So I couldn't stop myself from adding more wrinkles and stuff to the hearts. So it looks, I believe it looks way better than the thing that I did during the second streaming or third. I think I did that during 2 streamings. But I'm still planning on doing the 3D printing. Hopefully this weekend. That's fingers crossed my idea. Now let's create some eyelashes. It's not eyelashes. I forgot the word. Eyelids. Not close enough. Something like this. Mirror world. There we go. Now we can actually move the eyelids to the back. Oh, I don't have any symmetry. Let me fix that. Sí, la música está como super creepy. Se parece a un amigo de acá. Va a estar super creepy. This music is amazing. Where you found it? I'm using a website called Pretzel Rocks. Let me copy paste the link on the chat, and there we go. It's called Pretzel Rocks, and it's a lot of like free to stream music. To be honest, I had a lot of trouble finding a decent website where, or at least a decent playlist of music that I felt comfortable listening to while streaming, and that didn't have any issues with the copyright infringement of like YouTube and all that. So it's cool because it's not only creepy music. They also have like a lot of different types of music. So they're pretty cool. I merge down these two. Entonces la idea es que los tenga unidos. Le doy to group, mirror world. Hey H2O, machete. ¿Cómo estás? Hey, you're welcome, Sina. Hopefully you will find something that you enjoy there. So right now I'm just gonna be playing with the volumes, trying to find some design that I like. Ey, KL. Entonces cuando Dynamesh, sí, utilizo Remesh by Dynamesh al principio, que es este. Siento que tengo un poquito más de control porque al principio no quiero atascarlo de polígonos, quiero agregarle los polígonos o al menos la resolución poco a poco. Entonces eso es lo que utilizo, Remesh by Dynamesh. Que al parecer lo que aprendí de los Daruma es que es un monje que creo que meditó hasta que, sin moverse, hasta que se quedó sin pies y brazos. Entonces cuando tú tienes un objetivo, le pintas uno de los ojos y el otro lo dejas sin pintar. Y el que ves al Daruma pues con un ojo nada más pintado, pues obviamente te va a recordar que todavía tienes una meta por terminar. Entonces yo voy a hacer lo mismo, al final del streaming voy a pintarle solo un ojo. Va a ser mi Daruma digital. Let's add eye material. Hey Maki, ¿qué onda? Justo es la idea. Hacerlo super creepy. As creepy as possible. So I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do with the mouth, but I was thinking maybe doing so. As far as I remember, what I read about Darumas is that he was supposed to be a monk, that he was doing like a lot of meditation without moving, and eventually he. I might be saying this wrong. I mean, don't. I'm not entirely sure if I remember this correctly, but he he stood like very still for like a lot of time, and he lost his arms and legs. That's why he's just like a stump. So I was thinking in maybe taking this Daruma into like a mummy, kind of like a mummified monk vibe with him. Let me paint just one eye, well at the end. So that's what I'm currently thinking. But any suggestion, more than welcome. ¿En YouTube tienes algún tutorial de ZBrush? Sí, tengo un par en mi canal. La verdad es que no lo he actualizado como me gustaría, pero me gustaría empezar a retomarlo. Tengo actualmente uno de retopología, son dos de retopología y uno de cómo hacer ojos en mi canal. En YouTube estoy como... Bueno, creo que el canal aparece aquí arriba en el banner. Estoy como Templar Scott. Es como sale el canal. No he tenido oportunidad de cambiar el nombre. Hey Hannah, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Hopefully I'll be able to do it a little bit more creepy at the end. Bump that creepiness to the max. Muy creepy, es como Mi abuela en la morgue. Eso suena creepy. Una abuela en una morgue. Sí, tienes que hacer ese poema de terror. Por favor. Now I need to make this a little more hollow. Something like this. Now the issue is that I have the red thing on the back, but I'm not gonna be worried about that right now. Something like this. A mí de música tengo una banda de black metal. Ah, queda perfecto con tu nombre. Tiene un buen que no escucho nuevas bandas de black metal. Era súper fan. ¿Tienen Spotify ustedes? Daruma dices que se llaman las momias de los monjes. No, menciono que el Daruma era un monje, o el monje se llamaba Daruma o algo así. De nuevo, no me acuerdo, lo chicas mucho tiempo, pero se supone que este monje llamado tal vez Daruma, o bueno, el monje el cual está representado en el Daruma, que son las figuritas esas japonesas, como rojas con los ojos y todo eso, él meditaba y llegó un punto en el que meditó tanto, igual y creo que se queda quieto en una meditación por mucho tiempo y por tanto como quedarse quieto pierde los brazos y piernas y se queda así como pues un cuerpo nada más. Por eso los darumas son solo como una bolita porque no tienen brazos ni piernas. Y de hecho, muchos de ellos, si tú los empujas, vuelven a la misma posición porque pues, se queda como sentado en la misma posición, que es como la representación de que él sigue meditando. Pero mencionaba que ahorita mi inspiración es hacerlo como si fuera una momia. Hacerlo como medio momificado, con los huesos marcados, pero al mismo tiempo quiero que se vea como piel. ¿Harás el pelo de los bigotes o lo pintarás? Igual y sí los bigotes, estaría interesante. Igual y pintado también podría ser una opción, como si fueran tatuajes. Es decir, que tuviera como esto así y esto así. Creo que se ve más creepy así como en pintado que si le esculpo el cabello. With the music and the atmosphere, I think it will be awesomely creepy. Yeah, it's super helpful to have this kind of music. It inspires the creepiness. It's interesting because I mean I've been doing streamings like for 3 years now, and at the beginning I wasn't sure what to put as with the music on the background. So I went from having like classical music to white noise. I mean, it's hard because you actually want to listen to like maybe your favorite artist or stuff like that. But because of like the copyright infringement rules, you're unable to do that. So you need to find some music that fits into your streaming. And so far, this playlist has been really good because it's actually they actually changed the playlist. It's not always the same, so it's super useful. So I don't get bored with the same playlist over and over. Now let's add some gums. Voy a guardar esto antes. Kaidron. Lo voy a checar, Alex. Sí, sí, investigalo porque estoy seguro que estoy diciendo un montón de cosas mal. Entonces, no te quedes con lo que estoy diciendo. Estoy seguro que un 80% de lo que dije tal vez está mal. Me recuerda a los bailarines de Buto. Siempre he querido ver eso. Si no hubiera pandemia, podría viajar, pero pues está complicado así. Pero sí, tienen como esa pintura super creepy. R7, sí, malita pandemia, ya sé. Parece que otro año se va a ir así igual. No hay de qué. Lástima lo de las reglas de música en los streamings, si no pondría tu banda de fondo. I'm looking at some references that I have. Maybe I'll remove this. Comes from the top. Auto group, split hidden y voy a ocultar la de arriba. Ah, luego te mando videos buenos del Buto. Sí, sí, tengo un buen de ganas de verlo. Digo, sería super padre en vivo, pero en video tendrá que ser. Muchas gracias, Alex. Sí, súper, súper chido. Me late. Let's close the eyes a little bit. all this is a different subtool, so I'm going to be merging them soon. Oops. And for the nose, voy a pintarle tantito esto de negro. Gracias, lo de la mandíbula. Sí, estoy improvisando. Tengo referencias justamente de momias, entonces ando viendo cómo más o menos se van secando. Hey, Jonas. Se ve muy bien el personaje, deberías de agregarles fluidos, saliva, venas, alguna que otra verruga. Sí, me gustaría llegar a eso. Yo creo que sí alcanzo a llegar, solo es una cabeza, entonces sí. Ahorita como todavía es el inicio del personaje, pues no le he puesto ningún tipo de detalle de venas o de verrugas y cosas así. Pero eventualmente sí me gustaría que lleve todo este tipo de cosas. Ahorita la idea es el diseño. Sí, voy a dejarlo así. ¿Podría compartir el link de esa música? Sí, esta se llama The Haunted. ¿Cómo abro para copiarlo? Give me a second. Lo que pasa es que como... Deja copio el nombre mejor, porque si no, nunca lo voy a encontrar. Como es una estación de radio, no me viene como un link. Pero así se llama la canción. Me recuerda a esas cabezas jibaras. Jibaras, no las ubico. ¿Cuáles cabezas? Ah, no te preocupes. No hay ningún problema. Vamos a probar con... Y huele un poco más sutil. Son cabezas que reducidas por una tribu. Ah, las cabezas reducidas creo que sí las he visto. Ah, qué genial. No sabía que eran de esa tribu. Lo pondré en mi lista de cosas que me gustaría esculpir. Las cabezas reducidas. Hey, Luis Enrique. Hi, all the way to Brazil. Vamos a probar con... Okay, so I'm gonna be going with these ones. Hey, Cyrax, ¿qué onda? ¿Cómo estás? Obrigado, Luis. It's amazing that you have for a serious project. Yeah. You're doing like some cannibals with some small heads. That'd be interesting. Y... Se crean unos dientes. Some teeth. Así. So I'm just looking at my references. Auto group. Hey, Sing Sing. ¿Qué onda? ¿Cómo estás? Duplicar este. Este es mucho más largo. So this is supposed to be a little bigger. And maybe wider. Another one like this. And I can do a mirror and weld. There we go. And let's change those perfect teeth. Nosferatu, no, I'm actually doing like a daruma. A daruma. You know those figurines that I have on the bottom? Japanese figures. Are meant to represent your journey. to fulfill an obstacle or a goal. And we're gonna do a couple of molars. Break the symmetry on this. And I'm going to duplicate. Ya que tengo todo el set de dientes, voy a duplicarlo. Lo pongo de cabeza. I'm gonna separate this as a different subtool. There we go. Now we can actually place it around here. Oops, I haven't saved this. Hey, thanks. Yeah, it's pretty much just a capsule that I've been... Oops, let's wait. I've been just using move to adjust the shape of the teeth, of each teeth, but it's pretty much the same mesh. You don't need to invest that much time on creating some unique shapes. And let's add... I'm gonna subdivide this one. Poner una textura para que ayude un poquito en el diseño del personaje. Texture, import. Descargo un daruma que me guste. Looking for a daruma because I don't know Japanese calligraphy. I need to copy the texture from a real photo. Yeah, this is gonna work. Give me a second. I'm gonna load the picture, texture. Entonces voy a utilizar tal cual una imagen que descargué para el logo que tiene en el centro, porque obviamente no voy a poner a hacer la caligrafía japonesa. Sería un insulto a mi intento de caligrafía, pero lo agregamos al spotlight. Let's remove the opacity. I think around here it's perfect. So I'm gonna use the paintbrush, do the symmetry. There we go. I mean, it's super rough, but that's all we need. Yeah. a poner un poquito de tono rojo variado. Y listo. Now, if you remember, this is super low poly. I mean, I haven't done any more resolution, so that's what I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna start adding details. I think I'm happy with the design of my daruma. Hopefully look good with some paint on it. Yep. He has a wonder face. Yeah. He's a real champ. Voy a guardar esto. Let me change that music because that's just annoying. Some creaking of a door, repeating over and over. That's too much. Save. And we're gonna merge the face with the eyelids. Entonces, ¿se acuerdan? Hemos hecho las pestañas que aquí están. Las vamos a unir con la cara. Merge down. Y creo que con eso basta. Entonces lo tenemos así ahorita. Different polygroups. Remesh by Dynamesh. I'm gonna remove subprojection. And this is way better. Maybe a little bit more. Actually, delete. I'm going to remesh by union. Y ahora sí, aíslo este. It's all one mesh. Now I can do the remesh by Dynamesh. Aceptar. Now I'm going to start adding more details. I might even start breaking the symmetry. Entonces ya con esto tengo la base y puedo empezar a meter un poquito más de detalles. Yo creo que para la boca es cuando va a empezar a romper la simetría. autosave. Esta es la parte en donde empiezo a utilizar los detallitos que le había hecho con todo el ruido. Y empiezo a modificar un poco más los volúmenes. So right now I already have the main volumes. I'm just using clay build-up to refine those volumes and using dam standard to exaggerate some of the happy accidents I created. For example, this line, you see another line right here. It's pretty much just like drawing. Another line right here. And then again, clay build-up. Now for the mouth, I'm gonna break the symmetry. I'm not be doing this by hand without any symmetry. Have a more unique look. It's pretty much just them standard to create the shapes. Them standard and clay build-up. Entonces con clay build-up ya nada más les doy el volumen y dam standard para marcar más esos detalles. I have to go. I woke up just to see some news from ZBrush. I'm in love with the program more than with my own wife. I don't want to go to bed. She'll make me look like that skull. Hey, have a good night, Luis. Glad you're enjoying ZBrush. Good luck. Have a good night. Y lo mismo por aquí. Muchas gracias, Black. Ayuda a tener los dientes, la verdad. Influye mucho en el personaje. No tanto como los ojos, pero aún así son importantes. Actually, I think I'm going to remove some teeth. Let's make an auto group. Y el de abajo, a ver, vamos a ver, auto groups. Qué bueno que te quedaras hasta el final. ¿Qué hora es por allá en Chile? Me distrae un poco esa canción. Vamos a cambiarla. Igual y no tan marcadas las cejas. Yo en teoría solo llevaré un ojo así pintado. Están probando los ojos. Hey, sure. What's your question, Sina? 2:17, sí, ya es tarde por allá. poner un poco más de volumen por aquí. How can I create a full shape, for example, a full sphere? Let's see, full from the inside. I mean, once you create a sphere, it's completely full on the inside. I'm not really sure what you mean by full on the inside. I mean, for example, if you were to 3D print this, all this is supposed to be like filled, so it's full on the inside. I'm sorry, I'm not entirely sure I understood your question. Maybe what you want is, for example, if I were to have this sphere, if I have this sphere and I 3D print this sphere, it's gonna be completely full on the inside because I'm not doing anything for it to be hollowed. So all the meshes that you have, they're gonna be full on the inside unless you do something about it. So for example, I have the sphere, I haven't done any changes. So imagine that I'm gonna use this cube as a boolean. Booleans. You see, on the inside, at the moment of doing the 3D printing, this is gonna be like this, completely full, unless you do something about it. All meshes are gonna be full, unless, for example, if I were to do something like this, where I remove this part, then I have this mesh completely hollow, and I won't be able to print this because it's super thin. So what I need to do is actually make, for example, if I were to make the sphere completely hollow, I could actually duplicate this mesh. This sphere, I have a sphere duplicated in the same position, so I'm gonna scale down the sphere, which is gonna be how hollow the sphere is gonna be. So let's say around here, and I select the sphere as a subtract action with live boolean, and now I can do the same. I can move the cube to see how it's on the inside, and you can see the difference. Now it's hollowed, but it's because I'm doing some changes on it. Otherwise, it's gonna be completely full. Hopefully that's what you meant. Yep, you're welcome, Sina. Need some sort of pull from the inside. I mean, from this side. gonna be doing the same on top. Same effect. Y lo mismo, como que la piel se está estirando en esta parte. Es un poco la idea. Clay build up. Un poquito así. And again, clay build up. Voy a utilizar el ambient occlusion para que se vea un poquito mejor. How to make an eyeball in ZBrush? It's pretty much a sphere. That's all I'm using. You can see it's a basic sphere. There is no science behind it. It's pretty basic. It's just an eye. I mean, just a sphere. See how it looks with some paint on it. Y no lo he guardado. Pequeño detalle. Save. Haven't saved this, so big trouble. There we go. Sí, un poquito de esto. Split hidden. Le voy a ocultar los otros dientes. Split hidden. With poly paint. To make an eye with poly paint, So again, let's choose this sphere. I'm gonna add some toy plastic material. Where is it? Toy plastic, toy plastic. Yeah, here it is. So white on the base. I'm gonna subdivide. There we go. So I'm gonna first apply a fill object so it's completely white, and with the material, with this toy plastic material, now I'm going to select a red. I use the standard brush with the alpha 60. See add off, only RGB because I want to paint the paints. And I can pretty much do this. So it's gonna be like super rough. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna remove the front just to make it more simple. But you can actually do this with a single sphere. So using that brush, that alpha 60, you can create the veins, and then you can create, for example, the black, and then let's paint it orange. Go with the second color. You can actually select the orange and do a darker version for this part, because this is supposed to be like a cavity, so this will give the effect. This is just painting, so give it a good idea. And then goes the middle. So that's a very quick, rough way of doing an eye. The eye mold material is toy plastic. It is. It is a very basic material, but it creates like this light effect, which is cool. From far away, it actually gives you the feeling of an eye. If I were to sculpt the eye, then I do like, the creating the eye like this and all that, but that's not necessary right now. Remember to follow el 3D. ¿Qué onda, Rodrigo? Y creo que este material está bien. Voy a subdividir estos para que no estén tan low poly. Igual no le metí nada a las encías de abajo, entonces... Hey, thanks, Cine. Clay buildup. I'm just gonna create the effect of the gums. Thank you very much, comics. Just something like this. Yeah, you're welcome, Vinet by Neat. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong, so sorry about that. Are you using the AO button? Yeah. At the end, I really enjoy activating the ambient occlusion. It gives a lot of like depth to the sculpture. But I only do it at the end, otherwise it will affect the way I sculpt. Once I'm happy with the sculpture, with the depth of like some details, stuff like that, that's when I activate the occlusion. Maybe mainly for just a final render. But I never activate the occlusion while I sculpt. I find it super distracting, and it might give me a different idea of how the sculpture is, because it's creating like these strong shadows on the cavities, so it could be a little tricky. and misleading. Let's try draw 85. There we go. Let's smooth the selection of the eyelid. So I'm breaking the symmetry. This is creepy but appealing. Thanks very much. Let's modify the left eyelid. I want to try something for this eye. Quiero ver si puedo dejar un poquito este ojo más cerrado. Son pequeños detalles, pero ayudan a que el personaje se vea mucho más interesante, al no ser todo tan simétrico. Will the character have a mustache? What is the hat on the face in this reference? Or is it, or what is that hat on the? Let me see. Well, maybe I should add the mustache, but um, I'm guessing that since he's supposed to be a mummy, he lost the mustache. Could do a version like this, painted. Hey, Dark Knight. No, you're never late. I mean, I almost have the entire design, but still working on it, still designing stuff. I'm thinking maybe doing some painting like this. I know I always say this during my streamings, but hopefully I'll be able to print this one and then paint it. Because that's the idea of the daruma, that you need to paint one eye and leave the other one white. So it reminds you of your objective or your goal or whatever you're trying to achieve. And once you finish that objective, then you can paint the second eye. Is this character for reanimation? No, no. It doesn't have any topology, not even a zero measure I've done on him. It's more for 3D printing, be more suitable. Especially because I already broke the symmetry, like a lot. Let me paint this. So it's not so pixelated. Solo pintando un poquito para que sea un poquito mejor trabajado esto. So I'm going to paint this and then I'm going to finish the streaming for tonight. It's far from perfect, but oops, wrong color. Like this, and then like this. I'm butchering this beautiful Japanese calligraphy with my horrible strokes. Good enough. I was just checking and practicing with clay tube brush, and I'm getting pretty good at it. I'm going the wrong direction. Do you know any artist who uses clay tubes? Yeah, well, clay tubes, no, but I mean, clay build-up, it's pretty close to clay tubes. Um, the way I sculpt, it's more like a traditional way of sculpting. And for example, Ion Apkill, he sculpts this way, where he uses a lot of clay build-up or clay tubes just to create like a little bit more volume, create these lines. I really like it because you have a lot of control on the volume that you add to your sculpture. I think that I'm going to be working on this daruma on my second streaming. I mean, okay, let's say that again. I'm going to continue this on another streaming because although I really like these clean shapes on the red part, maybe I could actually integrate something more detailed on the mesh, so it's not so simple like a bean or something like that. Um, I still want to work on the face. I still need to do the zero measure and then start sculpting the micro details like wrinkles and pores and stuff like that. But I guess for tonight is good enough. Um, I'm gonna paint an eye slightly. There we go. And let's activate that beautiful ambient occlusion. There we go. It looks super creepy. And let me see if another material fits better. Oh, this one looks super cool. I think at some moment I started painting with um, with material, so let me fix that before I leave. Material, fill color, fill material, and there we go. What's the meaning of the Japanese words? I suck because I have no idea. I just took the image from the internet, which I hate to do that because I might be wrong or whatever it's written down here. But I promise next time I'll investigate and find some good references with some decent calligraphy that I'm not gonna be butchering, and I'll investigate what's the meaning of the words or of the kanji right here. Um, for the symbol, would you export the UVs and then paint in Photoshop? I guess, yeah, I could be doing that. What I would do is I just like this. I'll do some poly paint just to have a guide, and then in Photoshop I'll clean the texture. It reminds me of a temple statue. As far as I know, they sell these darumas in temples, and you can find them everywhere in Japan. They're very popular, especially among tourists. Because again, you're meant to have like this daruma that you paint just an eye, and it's like a cool present to give your friends or your family from your trip to Japan, stuff like that. Saquen el agua bendita. Gay, señor scientist. Would you raise the symbol to make it 3D? Oh, you know what? Comics. I I didn't think about that. That's a really good idea. So what I'm going to be doing on the next streaming, it's actually working on the body, because although I really like the simple shape, um, I might add some details to it. And at the same time, I'm going to raise the symbol so it's actually visible on the 3D print. Nice satanic entity. It is a friendly Taruma. I'm gonna save this one. Hey, thank you very much, Sina. Okay, saved. change the background a little bit so it pops from something like this. So thanks to everyone who came by to the streaming. See you next week. Although next week is gonna be on my personal Twitch channel. The other week I'm gonna be streaming again here in the Pixologic channel. So it's 1 week on my personal channel and another week on the ZBrush Twitch channel and ZBrush entire ZBrush YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Next streaming here in the Pixologic channel, I'm gonna be working on the rest of my daruma, especially the body, and adding details to the face because this is just like the base. It doesn't have any details, any wrinkles, stuff like that. So that's gonna be in 2 weeks. And yeah, if you're enjoying this content, feel free to subscribe to the Pixologic channel. If you have any questions, you can actually type the questions in the comments, and people from the Pixologic staff will actually answer your questions about ZBrush. So that's actually a really neat new feature that they're including in their channel. So if you have any questions, just type them on the YouTube channel on the comment section. And yeah, um, see you next Thursday. And what else? What else? What else? Oh, you can find me on social media up here. And it's my Twitch, my Instagram, my YouTube, which I promise I'm gonna take back. I'm gonna start doing content again for my YouTube channel. It's been abandoned for some months, but I'm taking it back and doing again tutorials and time lapses and stuff like that. Again, my streamings that are streamed in my Twitch channel, it's also being streamed on my YouTube channel. So feel free to subscribe here in the Pixologic channel and on my personal YouTube channel. And yep, have a good night, everyone. Thanks for coming by. Nos vemos en 2 semanas. Voy a seguir este personaje. Va a ser un streaming aquí en el canal de ZBrush y un streaming en mi canal personal. Entonces vamos cambiando una semana sí y una semana no. Entonces este personaje o figurita la voy a terminar en 2 semanas en el canal aquí de Pixologic. Si les gusta el contenido, pues les recomiendo suscribirse para que se sigan generando videos como estos. Si quieren ver tutoriales, prometo ya empezar a subir más tutoriales. Ahorita tengo tutoriales de retopología, de cómo esculpir ojos en mi canal de YouTube. Pueden ver mi social media aquí arriba, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, etc. Ahorita el contenido está en español, entonces son bienvenidos a suscribirse. Nos vemos el próximo jueves en mi canal personal. Y que descansen. Stay safe, guys. Stay safe, Sina. Thank you. Have a good night, everyone.